Hey, welcome to everybody that's watching. I just got my webcam. I said a fancy webcam too. I found out I could make my camera into a webcam. So now when I'm like, you guys see me stop working all of a sudden, it's because I'm looking up here, or I'm looking, in some random spot. But yeah, my main monitor's here, and then chat and everything's here, and then I've got my art monitor up above me. That's pretty much like my, inspirational images or anything like that. This is also where the playlist for all the music and everything sits. So yeah, getting back into working on these weapons. This is kind of like a grossa messa, those German broadswords. So now you'll just see me doing what I do, where I just kind of rock out the music and everything while sometimes I kind of I'm doing all this shit and everything. So you'll see me acting kind of goofy. I think, oh, hold on. There we go. Sound is off on one side and on the other. Hey, what's up, Dante? How you doing? Hello. We can stop pretending. Ooh, I get all washed out when I bring this image up. Hey. I'm trying to read your name. Veritasium. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Always appreciate when everybody's showing us love and everything. It's so weird. I'm watching my tracking thing. It's not, you guys probably don't see it, but it's like following my eyes. It's the strangest thing. Pardon me for yawning a lot too. I do work a lot, so I end up getting kind of worn out towards the end of the day. Okay, so this. Sorry. So I actually own a Grossa Mesa. I was just looking for it, but I think it's down in my storage room. It's one of those cold steel ones. I used to use it to chop branches on trees and everything. So I'm having to. I made this and I thought the blade's too straight. you know. I mean, it looks good. I think it looks good. But, like, I didn't think it was, like, right. And sure enough, I'm looking around and I found the one that I have. I see some cool ones, too. There's some that's, like, yeah, I'm going to make this, too. There's some that have these really cool kind of, like, shapes to them, where the blade is tilted down a little bit, so the handle's a little bit of a pistol grip. So, yeah, I think this would be pretty cool. But that's not what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now... Oh, what? Oh, shit, that's cool. I'm gonna make the one that I have. Yeah. Ooh. Yawning too much, my eyes are watering. Hey, thank you, Magpie. I'm trying to get the blade to look a little bit more like a Grossa Mesa. So I need to sweep the back out a little bit, I think. I think that'll do it. Yeah. Oh, and apparently that will fix my texture slightly too. I guess that's a good win. Hello, Pixie. Welcome to the stream. Hey, thank you so much, Pixie. I really appreciate it. Actually, really stoked. We just got devs are testing out on the back end right now, and some of the guys on the team have been testing it. New mob AI, and it's awesome. Apparently, so you could kind of skirt around mobs pretty easily, like right now. But the new mobs, they cranked it up to 100 apparently, and everybody kept dying because, like, no matter where you went. Like, if you tried, normally you could sidestep a mob and then it kind of does like this, right? Now the mobs are a bit like that. So we need to get it to where it's, you know, a little bit, but not, you know, not dead on. Because right now I keep hearing that everybody's getting slaughtered by mobs. Yeah, I know. Like even the dungeon bosses, I think, just kind of bail as soon as you just jump up on a pebble. Like, and then all of a sudden they stop caring. So the way a Grossamessa works, it looks straight until you like look down the blade. It looks straight, and it's just got like this little curve to it. My hand focused on my hand. Well, I thought it did. I guess it is tracking my face. That's not creepy at all. Yeah, so this got like a very slight curve to it. Not like a katana, but like a Grossamessa is kind of made for chopping, kind of like a katana. So it's got like a teeny bit of a curve to it so that when it hits something, it comes out, you know. Oh, that time it tracked in my hand. But not that time. Oh no, I can't hide it far enough. I have to. I made a knife with a pistol grip, but it's not a gun blade. There we go. Yeah, it's the sword's getting made for just drops. There's just not enough drops in the game yet, so just kind of getting stuff made for players to just find and you know. Yeah, I might do that. Our next, not the next region, Cratera, but Lavea. This one that's on all the art with the big Leviathan thing, Lavea, is like more of like a coastal kind of islandy kind of thing. And there's like kind of piratey stuff as part of one of the gear sets for it. But I could add a little bit, like we've got these pants that are kind of buccaneer pants already. That should be in, but I'll double check and make sure they are. I'm sure some stuff got kind of like forgotten about at one point. No. Yeah, my camera's got some light flashing on it, and I can't. I don't know. I mean, it's still cameraing, so I don't know. Yeah, some like, yeah, bows and stuff like that would be good. I'm actually going to be doing bows. I've got a handful of more swords to do, and then I'm going to be working on warden weapons, priest, and mage, and then a couple other things. Yeah, so I'll get more added in. These are more trash drops than anything else. Well, not trash drops, but they're more, you know, kind of in between everything. So they're not trash. They're just, you know, not like, they're not going to be like super, super custom. They're just going to be like cool and interesting. Yeah, these aren't really trash drops. Trash drops would be like crappy old shoes or something. So I think I have an sword I like. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the pommel, or whatever that's called. Oh, I read that. I read that comment very differently than what was said. Hey, what's up, Sam B? I was just talking about that. So I'm getting a probably 9 more swords made, and then moving on to the other archetypes, getting more weapons made for them. Sam B. I am a former First Robotics person. The company is actually named after the team I was on, Team 21, Combat Team 21. 1 second. Oh, Sam Bowen, what's up? Hold on really quick. My camera wants to shut off all of a sudden. There we go. What's up, dude? Yeah, so check this out. So in the middle of the movie, so I've got, I think these were Xander's old pants. And then I've got a bunch of these, man. This is the, camera keeps wanting to shut down. It's complaining about overheating, which is ridiculous because, let's see here. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I've got the 99 with the bat. So for anybody else watching, little teenager Arthur actually, I was chosen, my dad got me to design a bunch of this stuff. It got me onto the Spirit team. Somewhere I've got like Bomber Bat. Yeah, there's Bomber Bat. Camera keeps dying. I'll have to do show and tell later. But hey, yeah, that's awesome to see you, Sam. Thank you for joining the stream, dude. Oh yeah, First Robotics, so it's this, it used to just be high school robotics, but now there's like, it's everywhere. Yeah, okay, so like the EOS 200, we got this for as a company camera, because we were like, you know, whenever we do, if you need to like record any sort of like, you know, I don't know what. It was on sale last Friday last year, so we grabbed it because one of his things was like, it's a webcam. I'm like, cool, awesome. We've got like a really professional camera. Yeah, this thing lasts maybe 20 minutes. Oh, did you? Okay, yeah. I've got my hat. I've got the buttons. I just found, do you remember, what was it? I can't remember if it was 99 or 2000, but it was the year with the big donuts. Remember the red and blue donuts? I've got 2 of them downstairs right now. I keep meaning to bring them up into the office. I've got that. I've got a bunch of those metal dog tags that we made. Good Lord, man. I've got so much combat stuff. I have a bunch of the, I keep meaning to see if anybody wants any. I've got like 20 VHS tapes that my dad saved of all the animations that the animation team did. And I keep meaning to see if anybody is interested in like getting a copy. But actually, yeah, one of my senior artists, his kids are part of First Robotics out west where they're at. And my wife's cousin's kids are about to start doing the robotics with their school too. So yeah, I'm hoping to mentor at some point. That would be really cool. Just kind of bring it back full circle like that. Yeah. I've got 99, 2000, 2001. God, I have so many of those metal bats. I'm looking for them right now, but I don't. I think everything is down. I've got like a bunch of combat box stuff because, you know, my plan was to get like one of those IKEA shelves with like the glass front and just stick all the combat stuff in there. Oh, that's so cool. That's really cool, man. Oh man, yeah, those were cool. That would be cool as hell to find, man. I've got a piece of one of the robots sitting around. Lunar year based weapons. Yeah, I should do something like that. Man, I'm being so. I knew what a robot floor cleaner is. I have one, and it hates our house. It just gives up cleaning halfway through nowadays. I'm being so lazy right now. I should just make a new handle. It's not hard. That would be so cool. It just, man, that's such a great time. I wish I hadn't squandered it by being such a mopey, like, dick the whole time. Just being like a depressed little teenager and just angry at everybody. But for the most, yeah, man, I just remember having a ton of fun, man. Definitely, that's like one thing that I like from the high school years. I miss like crazy, is just hanging out with everybody and just carefree, just at robotics, heading to Epcot for the big ass party. Oh, did you? Oh, that's awesome, man. Oh yeah, for sure. I just, I always like to rag on myself. It's my immediate my immediate thing is always like, I'm not gonna let my kids do this. I'm gonna make them have fun no matter what. Yeah, man, I loved all that. My brothers and I, or my siblings and I, barbecue club. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, my siblings and I, we joke every now and then about like being able to like hire on more people from the robotics team and just bring the whole thing back full circle. Like Team 21 is the robotics team again. Just find what everybody does and just hell, I'll pay people to mop the floors, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for that too. I know the I mean Luna's only, she just turned a year old. Actually, she just turned 13 months. But she the elementary school up here has Lego League, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Yeah, I know. Every now and then I like pop. He and I kind of like get together and just kind of chat online. I mean, it's so rare. Unfortunately, I'm terrible about keeping up with anyone. But like, Sorry, I just blanked. Yeah, like he was sharing images of me. I was sending some stuff to him. I found my dad. My dad has one of those. Had one of those floppy disk cameras that I found, and I found a bunch of the floppy disks that had a bunch of pictures from like the Epcot event and everything. So I was sending those over to him to get onto the website and all that. Ha! That's awesome, Magpie. Do you, Dante? Well, for me, Sam, it's God, man. I'm so busy, like, and I'm just tearing. So it just becomes that thing of where it's like I really want to talk to people, but I'm just so tired. It is the digital Mavica. Yeah, I'm holding it right now. I took it out. I've taken it out a couple times and just taken pictures with it because it works perfectly still. I've got 2 batteries for it. It's like the ultimate, like, 2000 tipsters camera. I'm putting it. It's great too. You take a picture and you hear that disc whir. Click, wah, click, click, wah. Actually, I wonder if I can. Here, let me see it. I can let everybody hear it. So, here, let me turn the camera on. Let's see if it complains and dies. Okay, so. Okay, so here it is. So it's a Sony Mavica, and it takes the floppy disk. It's so cool. It's so cool. So, you know, you pop it open right here, and then, yep, put it in the right way. Put it in, close it up, and then when you, let me see. Yeah, see, let me see if you guys, hopefully you guys, I'm going to turn up the mic a bit so you guys can hopefully hear. Okay, ready? So there we go. And then when I take a picture, you can hear the disc. Yeah. I think you could hear it, but it's cool because it writes to the disc and it's like this little whir, 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 and you can feel like everything kind of moving in it. That's so cool. You get like a 200 by 400 or something like that image. It's so low. But if you just take, like, you know, if you just capture the like the subject as you need, and you don't need to enlarge or adjust it or anything, it's perfect. You know. Also, you bring a good camera. That way, you don't only get precious memories with this nearly 30-year-old camera. Perfect capturing UFOs, yeah. That is the camera everybody uses these days to capture UFOs. Yeah, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it can stop and we can go back a tiny bit. I wouldn't hate not to have a cell phone. Like, that wouldn't be the worst thing. I keep thinking about picking up one of those Matrix banana phones that they still sell, just to get away from all the smartphone stuff. left the wrong wood layer on. Yeah, exactly. TV time? Is it TV time? Okay, so yeah, I collect a lot of old stuff. So Sam will appreciate this. I don't know if Sam ever got to go to Building 100 or any of those things. So I can't bring the one over because it's in my entertainment room. So I've got like a room. I've got these old TVs. My dad worked for Boeing and McDonnell Douglas and Lockheed Martin, and he did renderings of like the Mars landers. He did all the animation and design stuff for like the Mars landers, the Delta 5 or 4 project, the EELV projects. So like we got to hang out at Building 100 all the time. We got to meet like all the scientists working on that stuff. So anyway, so my dad was able to take some of those old monitors, and I've got a really cool one. So this was used during the shuttle days, and it's this little color CRT monitor. It's usually sitting over here on my desk, and I've got like a VCR right here I'll watch some stuff on. But yeah, it's this little tiny little, you can play like Nintendo, you can play anything that uses like, you know, the red, white, and yellow that I don't remember the name of. But yeah, it's really cool. So this was used, this was used in Mission Control at one point, and they'd have like telemetry or something on the screen. And one of the guys gave it to my dad when because it broke. And they didn't think it was working. And I opened it up when we were moving up north. I was like, okay, well, I'm throwing this away if it doesn't work, right? So I opened it up and I found out one of the boards was cracked, just had a big crack in the middle. So I just resoldered it and it worked, and it was awesome. So now I've got this perfect little screen that'll just sit off to the side of my desk, and I can just watch, you know, old VHS and everything on. Yes, you do. If you look up old video from the launch control room, if you look at old videos of the space shuttle, you'll see those TVs. And sometimes they're just a little bank of them, or sometimes they're stacked and it's like this wall of them with all this stuff going. It's so cool. It's awesome because, yeah, it's like a legit part of the space shuttle history. And then I've got another monitor in there. Actually, I can't show it to you. My dad's, I have this old, it's one of the control boards for all the video stuff. The thing's like this big, it weighs like 80 pounds, and it's got tons of knobs and like these scrubbing knobs on it, all this crazy stuff on it. It only plays beta. I've been trying to find someone that makes like a VHS to beta adapter so I can use it for watching VHS. I don't think I'm gonna have any luck, because beta tapes that my dad was recording on was like that big. But yeah, I've got another monitor that was used in Building 100, same thing. And then when they were upgrading all the monitors in like 2001, and when the first kind of like LCDs were starting to kind of come out, and they were like ultra expensive, like $1,000 or more. They were just kind of throwing these out. My dad, same thing, Dad got to grab one. So, and it was one that was on his desk, which is what's really cool for me. Yeah, anyway, sorry, I'm gonna get back to working so you guys can see me work. But yeah, I always love having Congress now how defense contracts might be part of SAP's and oversight. So Dad, I remember I got a tour of the building when they were processing ISS before it launched. Dad worked on the ISS. I don't know if you knew that or not, Sam. And I remember I never got to see part of the I did see part of the ISS. I saw part of the ISS and something that went to Mir back before Mir came down, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, Magpie, my dad a handful of times got to travel to Area 51 and came back telling us how boring it was. And then he also told us he'd tell us what he saw on his deathbed. I remember him saying that. That was like in 2003. when he had his first heart attack, and he's like, "Oh, I'll tell you what I saw," and then of course forgets to tell us when he does pass away. So we've always joked, like, you know, trying to yank out a Ouija board and bug Dad about what he saw there. Yeah, but I think you're talking about the VAB, I think, Sam, man. I miss so much. There's so much stuff about living down there that I miss. The crazy people shooting at each other out of their cars, no. But, like, being able to go to VAB and all that, oh, God, man, that was so cool. I do miss the Space Coast. The Space Coast was so cool. It's like 100% where my heart is. Whoa! Dude, I didn't know that about your dad. That's so cool. Oh my God, that's so cool. I don't know if you remember Travis Heffler, but apparently he does, oh, I touched my glasses. He's worked security for SpaceX, apparently, which I thought was, like, cool as hell. Florida's gotten crazier since the 90s. I feel like 90s Florida wasn't that bad. Like, when I hear about the stuff going on there now, I'm like, yeah, I never dealt with that when, Oh, are you? Oh, yeah, Tarpon. Yeah, I guess that is the other side. I keep wanting to, like, try to, like, come down sometime and try to get a bunch of people together for just kind of like a meetup. I know there was one that was done at one point. It'd be cool to try to do that again sometime. I think I missed it because of this game. I think that there was something going on, and I was like, oh, I should go down because, like, my studio, the whole thing is inspired by, like the whole thing, like, was inspired by robotics, right? Like, that's where we learned to model. Like, Dad pushed us to, like, learn Max and everything there. So it's like, oh, I should go down. But I think we were launching Alpha or something, or maybe I was going out to California. So we met with our investors once, and I think we went out to I don't remember. We were doing something. Something was going on. Oh, dude, that would be cool. Wait, you have Magpie? That's awesome, man. And yes, very much into space stuff. Yeah, very much into space stuff. I got to touch one of the Mars landers. Not supposed to, but when you take a 16-year-old kid that doesn't listen to anybody into the VAB building with a bunny suit on, and he just finished, like, and we're going, his dad got us in there. It was like Bring Your Sons to Work Day or something like that. So Dad got us in. We got to see cosmonauts, or not cosmonauts, but like the Russian scientists that were working on part of Mir, because it was Mir. And then, like, we were talking to them, and then, like, there were these younger guys that were working on, I don't remember if it was Phoenix, I don't remember which Mars lander it was, but it was up on this rig, and part of it was kind of down low. And so, like, they're going, ooh, ah, and they had this rope up, and you could go see it and everything, and, like, don't touch it, because it's going into space. So the reason you don't touch it, if you don't know, is because your oils on your hand can burn, and if I remember correctly, can melt apart. Yeah, well, I had gloves on, yes, but yeah, I touched what I wasn't supposed to touch. Life-finding mission to Venus? I guess you could, if, like, tardigrades and all that stuff. I'm more excited for Europa. Because, you know, that ice, like, they, like, the gaseous jets that come out, like, I'm pretty sure if you went to, oh no, my battery died. No. I'm pretty sure if you went to Europa and drilled a hole down through that ice, you're going to end up finding some sort of life. Because, I mean, it's nothing but water, right? Like, and it's apparently life-sustaining water of some type. because they're able to like look at like the spectrum. Hey, what's up, Wolf? They're able to look at like the color spectrum coming out of all that and determine like what elements are in it, as one does. So yeah, I think that's where life is, other than us. I'm sure that if you like really got down to it with the planets and explored, like you'd a 3-hour meeting, that sounds like hell. That sounds like actual hell. But yeah, I think there's more life in our solar system than we think. Microbial life in the Venusian atmosphere with silicone shells to protect them from acidity. That'd be cool. That would be really cool. I am down for anything. I think what we need to do, as the old joke goes, is NASA needs to start acting like they're finding oil on other planets so that our governments all fund that for a little while. Oh, damn, you've got a good telescope then, Sam. I've got a Celestron blah blah blah. I can see like the Pleiades, not the Pleiades, I can barely see, I think, the pillars of creation, I think. Like, it's super fuzzy. It's just a little colorful little thing, but I can see, like, some pretty good stuff, some stuff pretty well. Yeah, then straight to Titan. I mean, once you're there, what's a quick trip around Jupiter? I would assume that there's plenty of places in our solar system where there's just life, maybe not, I mean, teeming probably, just not in the way we look at it, you know? Like, solar system universe, like, I think when you're like, oh, we need to find intelligent life, you then have to define what intelligent life is, because there are octopus smarter than most people, right? So, like, I think when you're just looking for life, you know... Oh, that's nice, man. I've been wanting to get... My new house has he'll think of the word in a second, a sunroom, with these nice big windows, and I keep wanting to get like a nice Dobsonian. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I want to get like a nice Dobsonian telescope, especially like as my daughter gets older. I'd love to show her, you know, more of that. I mean, I don't know. I would, because, like, I think sometimes people are scared to find life on other planets because we see ourselves, well, I say we, the royal we. Many people see humans as like this ultra special thing. And the truth is like, you know, we're just kind of, yeah, the one I've been looking at, sorry, I'm going to just keep going back and forth. The one I've been looking at has like the phone app or some sort of thing. You can hook it up to a laptop too to control it. And now you have to, yes, you have to manually move it, but it's got like the set tracking points where you can set it to look at Saturn, look at the moon, and it, you know, will kind of track it a little bit. Yeah, I agree, Wolf. Like, I don't know. I know there's the whole thing about, like, oh, if you look at how old everything is, and then if you look at this, and you look at that, and then the chances of there being life is blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, cool. Like I get people, like, kind of hold themselves to the Fermi paradox, but my thought is always, like, That's a paradox created by humans that can't grasp the thought, like that don't understand things like the fourth dimension, that don't understand, like the universe. I mean, you can understand the universe, but until you meet other life forms, find other life forms, you don't really know how they would work, right? You can wonder all you want, you can guess all you want, but like, how many? I mean, so many times theories like that, they either get proven wrong or, I don't know. I'm speaking out my ass to a little bit on this because there's what my unscientific part of my brain just wants to be like, yeah, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit. So it's just a bunch of bullshit, until we prove there's no aliens everywhere, you shouldn't be saying there aren't any aliens anywhere, right? That's the uneducated part of me just kind of popping out. And but Sam can back me up. Florida education's a rough on a kid. you either walk away in one piece or you walk away in a bunch of different broken pieces. Technically, Magpie, everyone's seen a UFO. Everyone. Because it is an unidentified flying object, right? Which I always thought was like the worst thing to call them. Because UFO does not mean aliens. It just means a thing in the sky. Now, that being said, yeah, of course there's aliens. Do I think they've come to Earth? It would be strange that they came here and never left, like, a marker, like an actual marker of like them being here, and not like the pyramids that we know was built by people or some crap. Like there would be like an actual "we were here" thing somewhere, right? Like, Lord knows we've done it everywhere we've gone and colonized. We leave something of ourselves there, unless you get to the point of society where you're just like, yeah, we've been here. We don't need to tell anybody that we have. We put it on our own charts. Yeah, I agree, Wolf. We don't even understand the human mind, like, fully. So, yeah. I mean, hell, my buddy Chris and I, we were walking home. Oh, that's dope. Oh, yes. Huge Stargate fan. So, yes, alien landing pads. I remember my buddy Chris and I... Sam, you were in Titusville. Like, there was the Publix... There was a movie gallery over by the Publix off of Knox McRae, I want to say, over by the middle school, Jackson. We were walking home one night from there to my place, and I remember we saw this thing in the sky, and it's one of those things, because whenever you see a UFO, it's that moment of like, oh, dude, that's awesome. No one's going to fucking believe me. Like, it was this, like, it looked like a... like a lattice window where it's like, 4 squares with a little frame, it was like that, right? But it was just, and it was kind of this weird bluish greenish color. I mean, super small in the sky. Like if you held your arm all the way out. Hey, Wolf is asking about Area 51. I'll tell you about that in a second, because my dad's been there like a couple times. But yeah, like if you held your hand out at if you held your hand out and you put like a like a Cheerio, the object would have been the size of like the whole of the Cheerio up in the sky. Super fucking small. There for just a brief moment and just kind of traveling across the sky. And yeah, so Wolf, yeah, my dad in the 90s was in Area 51 a couple of times. And yeah, we asked him about it one time and he was like, yeah, it was really boring. So I think what was at Area 51 was not likely any sort of alien thing. I mean, keep in mind in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, we were experimenting with all sorts of nuts-ass stuff. And I know there's that one dude that came out and is like, oh, I worked at Area 51 and, you know, there's all this crazy stuff going on. And that's cool. And I know a lot of people, like, hedge their beliefs in UFO on that dude. My problem with that guy is he sells everything, right? Like, all he does is sell his story. He sells, like, rights to it and everything. And it's like, so for me, as soon as, like, money comes into play on that kind of stuff, my thought is like, well, yeah, of course you have a story to sell. You have a story to sell. So, like, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of hard to, like, take that as, like, a serious thing. I don't remember the dude's name. I just remember that he had that leak or whatever it was where he's like, oh, they had some anti-gravity vehicle or some crap like that. Like, God, excuse me. This is fun. I'm having fun talking to you guys. Yeah, like whenever, man, because don't get me wrong, I want this shit to be fucking real. But it's kind of like ghost stuff. Like, I'm big into paranormal stuff. Like, especially after my dad passed away. Like, I was kind of like a 1880s, you know, Civil War widow, where I was like, maybe there's a way to communicate with my dad. I mean, I'm not a religious person at all. Wasn't really raised religious or anything. I would be what one calls not even spiritual. I'm just that, you know, I played Final Fantasy VII when I was younger, and I was like, yeah, cool, there's an energy that connects us all. I'm totally down for that, because I love Aerith and Tifa. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I was, like, so much like, okay, my dad's got unfinished business. He's totally, if I try talking to him, he's totally going to come and, like, talk to me, right? Like, 100% I'm down for it, right? Like, my buddy Travis and I, when we were kids or teenagers, we'd go and check out some haunted places and everything. We'd be like, oh, did you hear that? So I'm like, yeah, totally down, right? And yeah, just the more I looked into it, the more I was like, oh, this is all fake. Because, like, you start hearing all these stories and everything, and you start going to places, and you're like, and I mean, what's the haunted thing all the time, right? Go there when it's dark. And it's like, well, yeah, of course you got to go there when it's dark. It's fucking creepier, right? And then you look into, like, you look at the Fox sisters, right? So the Fox sisters, at, like, they basically, the Civil War is what started. The Civil War is pretty much what started the spiritual movement in the United States and pretty much the world too, because you have millions of people die, or hundreds of thousands, 100,000 millions. Would I say that I don't believe in ghosts, but you're scared of them? No. Here's what I'm hopeful for them, because like I said, I would love to talk to my dad again, right? I'd love to talk to, like, you know, friends that I've lost. So it's like, yeah, I just hope they don't visit me on the toilet or, like, when I'm laying in bed or something, you know. They're welcome to wait, like, till I'm chilling in my kitchen drinking some coffee, you know. But no, yeah, it's just like the more I looked into it, the more I was like, okay, this is just like a complete faith-based thing, you know, people and these spirits. Like I said, you look at the Fox sisters, and they were at the beginning of the spiritual movement. They were the two that pushed the hell, like they had this whole thing. Oh, they can communicate with spirits, and nearly the entire spiritual movement in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Was because of these two sisters who, you know, decades later, nearing the end of their life, admit to it all being fraud. And they explained exactly how they faked it. And in fact, spiritual photographers, trans mediums that, you know, like spit up ectoplasm and all this stuff, all eventually admitted to being frauds. And yet people still believe afterwards, right? So for me, that's like the UFO stuff. Like, yeah, that's what I would do. If I was a ghost, I would wait till someone's on the toilet, and that's when I pop out of the wall. Or like in a movie theater, I would just kind of like chill off to the side and just barely bring myself into focus so that they like I do it a little bit when they're not looking, so they can see a person, and then as soon as they look, I kind of go away. But like they always see that face out of the corner of their eye. But no, like, yeah, I mean, for me, UFO stuff's like that too, where it's like you hear people talk about them, and I'm talking alien UFO. I'm talking, yeah, exactly. We'll scare the shit out of them, literally. Like, I'm just talking about this crap where it's like that one acorn-shaped UFO that everybody's like, oh, acorn-shaped UFO came crashing down out of the sky. I mean, all of this stuff, all of these UFOs are all happening in a time when all these governments are building spacecraft and getting into space, not telling each other because they're trying to spy on each other, and all this shit's falling down, right? I mean, what happened? The whole Chinese spy balloon thing, right? That happened because we opened up our tracking systems to track more than just the stuff that we had told it to, right? And now all of a sudden, spy balloons everywhere, right? Which were already there. We just started noticing them more. And you know, I just think that's what all these old UFOs were. These were things that people were seeing, and these weren't educated people, right? These were small town farmers or small town police, people that probably didn't even really read much science fiction, just kind of knew of, like, you know, the stuff that was going on. Or you'd have mass hysteria. Mass hysteria is one of those things you can't really buy into, because, like, if you say that UFO mass hysteria is real, then you have to say that Jersey Devil mass hysteria is real, right? When people saw the Jersey Devil all over the place on rooftops and jumping around and scaring people everywhere, right? I mean, so now you got to say that. So, like, and I'm not saying you've got to, but I mean, like, it's that cynical part of me that's kind of like, yeah, I mean, you've got to, like, if you're going to give it to one group, you got to give it to the other, right? Like those people that saw the floating Mother Mary in that church, and it was like all these people, and all it was is a reflection of light coming through a window, you know? Which they all figured out at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. UFO stuff, to me, it gets to the point where it just, like, it starts feeling religious, right? Like, people that go on about UFOs, it just becomes this weird belief where, like, there's no, like, maybe it's not real, right? Maybe what we saw, like, you can hide a rocket launch. You can definitely hide a rocket launch. If you're in the right spot, because it's not hiding a rocket launch isn't just hiding the rocket launch. It's hiding the people that see it. It's silencing those people. And let's not forget that our government and other governments in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, they were very much okay with doing that kind of stuff. Plus, keep in mind too, nowadays you cannot hide a rocket launch, but in the 40s and 50s, I mean, our population was like, God, what, a third of what it is now? I mean, a population doubled in the 70s, you know, like the world population. And then it grew even more, like, in the 90s and the 2000s. So, like, yeah, back then there weren't as many people. You could easily do stuff like that. You know, you launch during the day. You know, you launch at times when people won't notice something like that. Because, you know, I mean, typically a rocket, if it's far enough away, the only thing the rocket's going to do is light and, you know, a contrail or something like that. If you ever live down in Florida and you're on the West Coast, you know, the West Coast is what, Sam? 100 miles? I don't even think it's 100 miles from the East Coast. And yeah, I don't think you hear the sky cams are awesome. But yeah, like I don't think on the west coast of Florida you hear the Falcon rockets and all that stuff go up. You see them, but I don't think you hear them. And the east coast and the west coast of Florida aren't that far apart. I think it's like a 2-hour drive between the two. Hell, even in Orlando, like at Disney time, the shuttle would go up, and the shuttle was loud as hell. Hey, take it easy, Dante. What I really remember is the when the damn shuttle would come back down. And you get that gnarly sonic boom. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, it's not impossible to launch something and people don't hear it. Yeah, go ahead, dude. It's like I said, it's not that I'm like, my thing is, I want it all to be real, but I'm not going to just jump in when people are talking about stuff that happened in the 60s and 50s, because, like, I mean, there was all sorts of shady shit going on that nobody knew about, you know? I mean, hell, keep in mind they nuked the desert a few times, and people didn't know that were, you know, in a certain radius. I mean, some people did know, obviously, because it's a nuke, but, you know, to a certain point, you wouldn't know about it, you know, a certain distance. Oh yeah, that's right. This is YouTube. I think Magpie's in the Discord. You could just drop it in there. The Sam, you said you're editing a video right now? It's gonna be a dick butt, isn't it? Oh, okay. Yeah, go make your dinner, dude. Feel free to just jump on again whenever whenever I'm streaming and come by and chat, dude. This is a lot of fun. It's nice catching up again, man. Oh, that would be great. I would love to be Rickrolled in this. I'd love for this dude to be like, I have the best evidence of oh, I mean, to me, that is just a celestial body. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it'd be dope as hell if it was something like that. But it's just weird to me if something, like, hey, here's some alien thing traveling through the solar system, and it just passes through. It doesn't do anything, right? Like, we catch no, we catch nothing off of it, right? There's no communication, there's no nothing, it just passes by. We don't catch any sort of scam, I mean, it may be something that's, but yeah, we didn't we? But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm 100% like a believer, and I want this stuff to be real. But I'm also gonna like question the absolute shit out of anything that anybody comes forward with as proof, right? Which I think is a responsibility, right? Like, you're supposed to, and I don't mean like stubbornly question, but I mean, you should question it, right? Like, any information that anybody brings you that for a brief moment you're not 100% on, you should question it. And that's what I do with most of this stuff. I try to look at it in whatever scientific eye I have. And yeah, I mean, I've got friends that work. I've got friends that are astrophysicists that work and do like they study the skies. They watch the skies a lot, either for a job or for I have a friend that is an astrophysicist. I have other friends that just watch the sky that have like, a burgeoning interest, or, it's just like an incredibly passionate hobby. And I mean, yeah, it's always the same, when something like this pops up, it's like, yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. But it's not likely aliens. That being said, though, I would love to see some sort of evidence that says otherwise, Oh, that's cool, dude. Aliens are inspired by human gods. Oh, so like... I mean, I think what created our gods, and so my going theory is, so, and I'm not, this isn't like a, oh, I'm talking about my dad's passing, but I mean, this is where this stuff stemmed from, right? Is my dad passed, and like I said, I got into a lot of this, and I started thinking about it, and, you know, when my daughter was born, I was like, I don't know why. Maybe because I wasn't yet medicated and seeing like a therapist and a psychiatrist, but like I was like really thinking about death. Oh, I see what you're saying, Magpie. But yeah, like, so like, yeah, I mean, I was like really thinking about like my own mortality, right? That's something that happens when you lose somebody close to you, as you start realizing that it could happen to you. I had my daughter, and, you know, when my daughter was born, like, you know, it was kind of the same thing. Like, oh, well, I'm, you know, we're exactly 40 years apart, you know, my daughter and I are. And so it's, you know, anyway, yeah. So like, I was thinking about all that, and then at one point it kind of hit me, because I was really scared, and I was like, man, like, you know, you just kind of, you know, when you die, it's like sleeping, right? Because when you go to sleep, you don't typically pinpoint right when you fell asleep, right? You just, if you have no dreams, you just kind of stop existing for 8 hours or however long in your head, and then you just wake up, right? And if you had no dreams, you don't remember that time in between. The world was just black. And I was like, oh, God, that's probably what dying is like. Sorry to get super down, guys. But yeah, like, so it just started making me think. And I was like, and actually it gave me, so positively, whatever I'm trying to say and not saying properly. Excuse me. It gave me a lot of story ideas for Ilysia. No, they got music playing on the wrong headphones. But yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I wonder if that's why people like created religion, is because when we were, you know, I mean, humans are like babies, or I mean, the human civilization is like a human in themselves in a sense. Like when we were a very young species, just coming into sentience and just starting to, you know, like, you know, the spoken word, you know, and starting to kind of understand who we are at whatever time, tens of thousands of years ago that would have been, if not 100,000 or whatever. Like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, unless you believe in afterlife. This is my point, is I think there was a point with humans where there was no thought of the afterlife, right? There was no, because we had no consciousness like that, right? I think because you do it when you lose somebody close to you, some, you know, people will become religious, or people will look more into, you know, spiritualism, or, you know, just the afterlife in some sense, because you wonder if you can see them again. You wonder what, you know, if one day you will meet them again. And I think that's what happened with early humans, right? Like something, you know, someone dies in part of your tribe or whatever we were, and you start kind of coming to the realization that you could, this thing will happen to you, right? At some point that clicked for someone. There was a Homo sapien where it clicked, and they were like, oh, we all are going to do this thing where we stop moving, and the thought of it just keeps churning, and then eventually you get the one person that's scared enough that's like, oh, no. We don't just stop. We go somewhere, right? There's something else. Like, there's something else after this. There has to be, because I can't accept, the idea that when I die, that's it. Nothing else happens, right? I think that's where religion comes from. I think that's where, like, all these gods, I think a lot of this just comes from the fear of dying, which is a very powerful motivator, right? I mean, you have millionaires and billionaires that work towards this shit, right? They put money into research towards putting your brain inside a computer. I mean, why do you think Elon Musk is working on all that brain connectivity crap that everybody talks about is Sword Art Online? Because dude doesn't want to just die. Dude wants to try to put his consciousness in a computer. People have been trying to do that for the longest time. You have people that have frozen their brains and shit to try to hopefully be put into somebody else's body. I mean, death and the fear of dying is an insanely powerful motivator. So, like, Neuralink, thank you, Wolf. So yeah, I think that's where all this stuff stems from. Like, as a person that is not religious, obviously, if you're a religious person, which, I mean, Christ knows you're welcome to that. I mean, and if those people are right, if that's true, I fucking love that, because then it means I get to go see my loved ones, and I get to wait for them, and I would love that. I would love for that to be the thing. But when you ask me, do I think that that's where that aliens inspired human gods theory? No. I think human gods, I mean, if you look at our gods, right? Our gods are typically represented by animals around us. I would say that the large groups of humans didn't come about because of religion. I would say that religion came about because of large groups of humans. Because something like that, like an ideology, like you're saying, gives your group a survival advantage, if it does. Which let's keep in mind. So to me, what keeps your group alive and what brings a large group together is being able to survive, right? Being able to forage and adapt lets you live, and you live longer than everybody else does, right? And then your group grows. Your group is healthy, so you're able to have more children. Your children are able to have more children. Your group keeps growing. Eventually, you start... I guess I kind of see religion like dogs, where dogs kind of like adapted themselves to us. Religion is one of those things where it kind of adapted to us as well, because humans needed something. Eventually, you need something, right? And somebody's going to... So here's really my thoughts on it. Because I grew up in the South, right? Mega churches and all that stuff. I personally think that where religion starts getting to is control and money. And I'm not talking about all religion. I'm not talking about religious people. I'm talking about when it becomes a controlled group, where it's a person or a group controlling the larger group, and they speak of religion. I think that's where it gets used as an evil tool, right? I mean, the Catholic Church is like a prime example, especially the English Church, or the Church of England, whatever it was. I mean, the bad guys in Robin Hood. I mean, you've got, people were using that to control people. Hey, if you don't pay us, what the hell were they called? I actually have one. My mom got us one. The I can't remember what the hell it is. You basically just buy you give money, an indulgence, and it's get into heaven ticket, right? Because you paid money. Like, how did nobody at any point go, oh, that's a fucking scam? So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think things like religion come about because when you're a human and you're being hunted by animals, and the animals around you that you're trying to hunt, even if they're, you know, animals, a beast of prey, they're still gonna attack you at some point if you try to kill them, right? I mean, we have horses. I can tell you right now, if you go up to a horse and you start trying to screw around with it, yeah, it's gonna run, but if you just keep screwing around with it, that thing is going to kill you or hurt you a lot. So like, yeah, I think where it comes from, because like, you know, if you look at pretty much almost all religions, especially the super primitive ones, like I'm just gonna say Egyptian for right now because my brain is fried and I can't think of any others. You know, it's a lot of animals. It's a lot of tithes too. Yeah, it's, you know, a lot of the old gods are based off animals, or they're based off of natural resources or naturally occurring things that they, especially any sort of natural occurring thing that can't be explained easily. I mean, you need a way to explain that, right? So you have to come up with, like, I mean, look at the Greeks, right? Like you have what's her name? Good Lord, man, I'm so brain fried right now. But like, why does it turn to night? Oh, because a woman flies her chariot through the sky with a big black blanket and it turns it to night. Why does it turn to daytime? Because another chariot is pulling that big glowy thing across the sky. And that's there because, you know, I mean, you can't, at the time, they didn't know that this are all just these things suspended in animation in space, just moving around each other in just this celestial dance, right? So like, yeah, you got to come up with reasons, like, you know, ways to explain it. So I just think that's how, anyway, yeah, I could ramble on about this shit forever, and I sound ignorant as hell because I don't really know much about it. You're asking me about what I think, and that's just what I think. And I mean, yeah, it doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean that I'm wise on it or anything. I don't know. I'm not modeling, so like, that's what's happening right now. Okay, yeah, there's that one that I liked. No, Athena is the basically the mother of the gods. It's stupid because as soon as I type in Greek god of night, Nyx. I am so dumb. Oh, Erebus. Yes? No. No. I don't know. That's not her. Cloak. I think it is. I don't know. I should know because half the damn gods in this game are like slightly based off Greek mythology. Yes, Apollo is. I only know that because he is the logo for the mission. I really hope some like really disappointed people checked into this. Like, I wonder what they're building today, and it's just like a bunch of aliens and religion talking. Like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Unless somebody destroyed them all or forgot to make them. Yes, me. That is the lore. I forgot I didn't make them yet. And that's the lore. Yeah, no, I agree, Wolf. I do not mind talking about it. I try not I try not to hold any sort of like, oh no, I believe this. So it's I just realized my microphone's still turned way up. Um, yeah, I mean I'm all about keeping an open mind on stuff. Um, and then occasionally calling bullshit when I think something's bullshit. Um, but I mean, it doesn't mean I'm just gonna walk away from a conversation with somebody else. Just like, yeah, I just kind of think that's bullshit. Now it's up to you to convince me that it isn't. Nah, you're all good, dude. I enjoy. It's not so much leaking as just enjoying talking. Sometimes it's leaking. Totally agree, Wolf. So actually, Mag, somebody said that one time. They're like, "Oh, just get him on a roll," which is pretty much true. I spend like 18 hours a day cooped up in my office, so I'm like super easy to trick into being like to just start talking to people about shit because I'm so lonely. Oh, in my plants. Oh, dude, I was. I mean, I'd watch it that way. I know what the lore is. Thank you. Yeah, apparently it does. Because I made them like that. Hooray! It's never too late. He could do it now. Unless he's hanging out with my dad, then that might be a bit harder to do. Thank you. It's almost a gun blade. All I have to do is this. That was stupid and not worth it. Sorry. Well, I'm a little bit slower when I do these, but you know, I enjoy it, so it helps the community out. You know, everybody gets to see that, you know, the transparency helps. So, you know, I'm down for it. I'll just sometimes just get a bunch of stuff done, you know, outside of a stream. What's that, Seal? Could that be a rifle scope? No. Trying to decide if I like this or not. Pew! Pew pew pew! I did promise them. So, you know, that is on me. Speaking of religion, if anything were to ever put the fear of God in you, it's the A10. Just hearing that noise. I'll make it the last thing we do for the game. No. Oh, really? Okay. I have not. Oh, sorry. This year? Maybe? When you say Anthro, do you mean... Yeah, I've got like the Nakata coming up soon, and then I've got some... We'll have the other races coming later on in the year. But the Onari and the Nakata are the next ones coming up. Oh yeah. Those other ones are coming. Yeah. Sorry, people ask me about Antler races, and I'm always wondering, do they mean, yeah, the demon race? Well, they're not demon. I mean, call them demons if you want to, but. But yeah, I don't know if we'll have like digigrade legs and all that, just based off of our character controller. But yeah, we have those races. The Onari are they're kind of like they're a race of elves, but they're pretty much like moon magic in a sense. The Jerboa and the wolf, like the wolves, will probably be coming up pretty soon. Same with the Jerboa. The Inari are basically like elves that practice like lunar magic in a sense. They live underground. They've now that we're not splitting the factions, but yeah, they pretty much live alongside the Bowden. So they spend a lot of time out at night. Their dwellings are underground. Hey man, I am more than happy to have furry races in the game. Something for everyone. Say the word furry. I don't care. No hate from me. People coming in and playing is people coming in and playing. I don't care. I mean, people ask for cat people for the longest time, so yeah, definitely gonna happen. Cat people, Seal. Cat people. But also that, yes. Yeah, I want to do an avian race really bad, since birds are like my favorite thing in this entire world. Oh yeah, I love birds are like my actual favorite thing. Yes, what's your question? Am I bird furry? No. Oh, no, because they'll still be kind of, you know, humanoid. But what they could probably have is like a natural feather fall ability. DF, if you can get 100 people to play the game, I will do that for you. I've set it live on the stream, so I have to do it now. That's how that works. It's Inside Out. I didn't think that out. 10,000 people. Okay, I got this one done. I've had a lot of fun chatting with everybody. I think I'm gonna run off for the night, try to get some sleep, and be back at this early in the morning. Yeah, I had a blast talking to everybody. Thank you very much for stopping by. I promise next time I'll get more work done. But yeah, have a nice night, everybody. Thank you again for stopping by.